channel. You join me today as I'm about to leave my Leighton Buzzard moorings. Briefly, I've had a complete change of plan, which I'll tell you about later in the video, but first things first, I've got to just get around this bend in front. There's a winding hole there where I'll turn the boat round and start heading north. Not very far, but I'll tell you all about that in a little while. Very helpful that there's a boat moored opposite the winding hole. Never mind, we'll do it. Oh, there we go. Managed to get that turned around despite this boat that's moored opposite. Now we're heading back towards Leighton Buzzard. As I say, I'll update you on plans. I think we're on plan E now, but I'll fill you all in a bit later on in the video. How exciting! Shopping moorings, and I'm going to pull in and go and find, there's a Halfords in there, and my stove fan keeps stopping. I think it's all gummed up inside, so I'm going to get some brake or carb cleaner or something like that and give it a quick squirt and try and free it up a little bit. Sorry to spoil your fun, mate.
Nah, that's alright buddy, we're finished anyway.
in there to try and get some something to clean the stove fan with. And it's all a little bit embarrassing because I was convinced there was a Halfords there, but it's not, it's home base. And it's doubly embarrassing because only a few days ago I went round to home base because they've got some Amazon lockers there. Oh well. Onwards. We've now got one lock. There's a kingfisher flying in front of me. We've now got one lock and then we're out into open countryside, and maybe a mile, maybe two, start looking for a mooring. I've got somewhere in mind. On the way down I went through somewhere and thought, well, that'd be a nice place to moor. So I'm going to see if that's available. Okay. managed to find the mooring, or get onto the mooring that I'd seen on my way down, and it's really nice. Yes, there's a railway line close by, but once you get into the boat, can't hear that. So I'm well chuffed with this. Signal looks good. Once the trains have gone, nothing. So I think I should settle here for a little while. Right then, a bit earlier in the video, you'll have seen me turning the boat round, and I mentioned that there'd been a change of plan and that I'd let you know later in the video what that change of plan is. So here we go. Now, way back in, I think it was September, August, September, when I came off the East of England rivers, I turned left at Gayton Junction and said that I was going to migrate south. And the plan was to go down the Grand Union Canal as far as Brentford, get onto the River Thames, and then travel sort of west on the River Thames for, I think it's about 60 miles to Reading, and then turn left and get onto the Kennet and Avon Canal. Want to spend the winter on the Kennet and Avon, get as far as Bath, and then turn around. You have to, well, you can actually get to Bristol and go up the River Severn, but I didn't fancy that in a narrowboat. So turn around, back to Reading, and then continue on up the River Thames, well, as far as Lechlade, but then to Oxford, and back onto the canals next summer. That was all fine until late September-ish, mid to late September, when we had absolute deluge of rain, and the flow on the River Thames increased to what the Environment Agency referred to as a strong stream. All the warning signals went red, and pretty much that's still where they are, although we haven't had a lot of rain in the last, well, for the latter part at least of October. We're now early November. We haven't had a lot of rain, but the flow or the stream on the River Thames is still at that, well, let's not beat about the bush, that dangerous level. So about 3-4 weeks ago, I thought, well, that's okay. I could continue down the Thames for a little way. Continue down the Grand Union for a little way. There's 1 or 2 places of interest down there that I would have liked to have seen. And then I could turn around, go all the way back round to Braunston, and then turn left on the Grand Union and go down the Oxford Canal to Oxford. By the time I got down there, the River Thames might have quietened down, and then I can travel south on the River Thames, or southeast on the River Thames, and get to Reading that way. So that was going to be the plan. I continued to move slowly south, not in any great rush. And then about 10 days, 2 weeks ago, notification came through that from early November, about now, until early New Year, the flight of locks at Braunston will be closed for repairs to several lock gates. So I thought, so that's both ends of my journey curtailed. I could continue north and go up the Leicester arm of the Grand Union, but I was there last year, so I wanted a bit of a change. So I thought, well, I'm going south, let's continue south. There's a place called Cow Roast, which intrigues me, just the name. And then there's a few places beyond that. And then there's the Aylesbury arm of the Grand Union Canal. It's only, I think it's only a few miles. It's only, I don't know, 10, 12 miles long. I'm not sure exactly the length, but anyway, I can go down there, explore Aylesbury, then come back, go down to Cow Roast, then turn round. And by the time I get to Braunston, it'll all be open again, hopefully. Then I got a notification again about just over a week ago that the Aylesbury arm's going to be closed because there's going to be lock gate repairs along there, and it'll take until early New Year, which left me with plan C. No, A, B. Left me with plan D. That was plan C. Aylesbury was plan C. Plan D was, well, let's just carry on down the Grand Union Canal, have a look at a few places, cow roast in particular, and then turn around and head towards Broadston. 2 days ago, got a notification that somebody had hit a lock gate at cow roast. The canal was now closed there indefinitely. So I just thought, somebody's trying to tell me a message here. So my initial plan with plan A was to get onto the Kennet and Avon Canal, once there at the eastern end, suss out a few boatyards, because one of the things I want to do before next spring is to have the boat lifted out of the water. I want to treat the hull. It's commonly known or referred to as blacking. I want to re-black the hull, which basically means cleaning it all off and giving it a coat or 2 coats of a bitumen type material to keep the water away from the steel. So I wanted to re-black the hull. Also want to have a look at the underneath of the bearings on the tiller. There's been a bit of a vibration. I noticed it most on the rivers where I could go a little bit faster. And when you increase the revs and the rotation of the propeller, it just seemed to be vibrating the tiller a little bit. So, and it makes, every now and again, it makes a bit of a squeaky noise. Now I have greased it, but I don't think the bottom part of the bearing housing, I don't think that's greasable. You can't get to it basically. So I'm just intrigued as to what that is. So I want to have a look at that. While it's out, I want to have a look at the anodes. The anodes are things that are welded to the hull that prevent, they're kind of like a sacrificial part of the hull, which basically the galvanic process that steals metal from your hull when you're linked up to 240 volt. The anodes do that job for you. So you weld them to the hull and they disappear quicker, hopefully, than the steel from your hull. So I want to have a look at the anodes. They should be okay, but you can't see them, so I need to know. And then I want to give the engine a good service. Now, I don't just mean change the oil and change the filters. I want to check it. There's a tapping noise every now and again, so I think the valve clearances want adjusting. And it's got a bit of a diesel leak, which I want to sort out. I'm getting fed up with it. And it just needs a good clean. For an engine that's bright yellow or amber, it's absolutely filthy, and it has been from when I bought it. So I want to give it a good clean. I want to give it a good service, and those things are easier to do when it's out of the water, in effect, when you haven't got to worry about, if it doesn't go well, will I be able to move on? So that's what I was planning to do at the start of the Kennet and Avon, and then carry on down to the Kennet and Avon and book a slot on the way for when I get back. Now, with the closure of, or the suspension of plan D, the cow roast, I just thought, well, I don't really want to be kicking my heels for the next 2-3 months. Let's see if I can get booked in a lot sooner, get it out of the water, get these jobs done, and then get it back into the water, well, pretty much before Christmas if I can, and then resume my journey, so that by the time I get to whichever direction I decide to go in, by the time I get there, hopefully all those lock repairs will have been done and the canal will be open again. So So I set about making a few inquiries, asking around, made a couple of phone calls, and fortunately found a boatyard stroke marina only from where I was moored in Leighton Buzzard, about 6 miles away, 7 miles away, that's all. They'd got space on hard standing. A lot of their boats, or the boats that were on the hard standings, are going back into the water very soon. But they said, you'll need to ring the company that do all of our boat lifts for us. We don't do it anymore. Although the crane's on site, we don't have the qualifications to do the boat lifts anymore. So you'll need to speak to the company that do that to see when they can fit you in. So I rang the company on Saturday. They can fit me in as I sit here now, in 7 to 8 days, which is brilliant. So I contacted the boatyard again. Yes, they've got space on the hard standing. So I've now got the boat booked in to be lifted out of the water a week tomorrow. So it's all going well. I can bring forward my maintenance schedule by a good 6 months, which means I should be back in the water by, I say, before Christmas, and be ready to go, which means I then don't have to interrupt wherever I am and whatever I'm doing in the spring to get the boat out of the water to do all those jobs that I really want to do. So we're now on plan E. Yes, we're now on plan E. Hopefully that's going to be seen through. I can't see any reason why not, because I'm not relying on anybody else other than the guy that's going to lift it out of the water, and the boatyard that's going to look after it for me. So, well, not look after it, they're going to provide space for me to do the work. So in the not too distant future, possibly even the next video, you'll see the boat being lifted out of the water, and work hopefully will be resuming quite quickly thereafter, on initially cleaning the hull off and giving giving the hull a coat of blacking. So watch this space. So then, if you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel. If you want to see how we get on taking the boat out of the water, then ring the note or click on the notification bell. And if you think it's been worthwhile, give me a thumbs up. Okay, till next time, see ya.